should be live. Can everyone
All
hear us and
right.
see us?
All right. We should be live.
We should be live.
Can
Be live. Can
All
everyone see
Oh, what
us?
an amateur.
Wow. Hey. No, I was checking to make sure you didn't fuck anything up.
Dude, I'm a fucking genius when
You,
it comes to this
dude,
shit.
you killed it. First of all,
Yeah,
welcome,
let's talk about
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Another episode of Two Guys and a Trailer. Steven, see what happened was if you look on the screen for the video, you can see the cursor. So I forgot to tell you to take the mouse cursor off.
it. So, can I do
But
that now or is it too late?
it's probably too late.
All right. Well,
Oh,
apparently
actually,
we're gonna have to deal
no.
with
If you go to XSplit and you look at the scene, you right click on it. It should say keep mouse cursor.
Hey guys, y'all are gonna have to deal with a cursor for tonight's episode.
No, you just like scroll over my face, click the right click button.
Jesus. Okay. Right click and then hit
Mhm.
what?
There should be one that says like show mouse or show cursor.
No day donde. Nope.
Dude,
Oh
I
yeah,
hate
show
this.
mouse cursor. Fuck yeah, I got it.
There you go. Boom. Now
Dude.
you're not an amateur no more.
I'm killing it.
So, tonight we are talking about, you know what? Here's how tonight's movie came to be. My wife and I were sitting there Sunday, and I was digging through. Steven and I were having a hell of a time trying to pick out a movie on the phone the other day. So, I was digging through a streaming service called Tubi, Tubi. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Pretty decent little stream. It's got a couple of ads here and there in it. So, not too bad to deal with for free, quality movies, in my opinion. But we were sitting there, and I said, "Catch Me If You Can" zone. Like, I'm gonna watch this because it's a great movie. And Brittany and I sat there watching it, and at the end, she was like, "That's a really good movie." I said, "I know." She's like, "I never seen it." And I'm like, "What the fuck? You mean to tell me I've been living with you for 15 years and you've never seen Catch Me If You Can?" So, yeah, completely unbiased. Brittany loved it. So,
It's
yeah,
one
so
of those
that's
movies that I feel like it kind of flew under. I can't say it flew under people's radar because, as we'll talk about, it did pretty well. But it's not a movie that's mentioned that often.
yeah. I don't know if you could categorize. Well, we'll get to the categorization later. Sorry, I hit one of them CBDs in the parking lot and came up. So
That's
tonight
not
should be a
weed, I
pretty
believe.
pretty good conversation. But no, so but right before the show, we started talking about a new scoring system,
Yes.
right? And a super awesome event we're going to do for next week because we had a hard time picking a movie this week. What we're going to do is I'm going to pick 3 movies for Steven. Steven's going to pick 3 movies for myself. And we're going to have a film discussion, like just a Mod Podge. We're just going to have a discussion on really good films next week. So, and then tell them about the scoring that we're going to change up.
So we're going to change it up. We've kind of been doing this thing where we've broken it down to like objective and subjective and all this stuff, and it's just been kind of overly complicated. So we've decided to just eliminate it. We're going to give one score a piece, and it's just going to be how we score the movie on a scale of 1 to 5. So I'll give a 1 to 5, Heavy will give a 1 to 5, and then that combined score is the score that we give that movie, right? So if I give it a 4, he gives it a 3, it's a 7 out of 10. So it kind of just streamlines that whole process. So that's the plan. And then, like he said, next week we'll be doing the fucking movie spectacular, where we'll have a potential 6 different movies that we'll just be talking about.
Yep. So we'll get to that a little bit later. You know what I think we ought to do? I think we should come up with one. Which I've already got one in mind. What about you?
Yeah, I've already got one.
Okay, so let's go ahead and reveal one for next week now. That'll give us the rest of the movie, the rest of the conversation to kind of think about other stuff we want to throw in there. Add that one in at the end, and then we'll put up a post on Instagram tomorrow showing the other two movies, and y'all can guess in the comments who's watching what.
Okay.
There you go.
First.
So I'm going to pick the movie 31 by Rob Zombie because Steven hates horror movies, and I think this one's like horror movie light. It's not really a boogeyman type deal, but it's a very good movie. So that's what I'm going to pick for you.
And
what do you got for me?
The first one that I'll pick for you is going to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
The new Tarantino movie.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Nope.
Okay, so the downside is you'll probably have to buy it or rent it or something, but
that's fine.
It's spoiler, it's worth it.
I can probably Redbox it.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
So
does Redbox have Blu-ray?
Huh?
Does Redbox have Blu-ray?
I think so.
All right, because I got a PS4.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Either way it goes.
But yeah, so that's two of the movies, and then we'll announce the other ones on the Instagram tomorrow. And if you'll notice, because I'm amazing, the handle for the Instagram account is right in the bottom of your screen.
I love how you sit here and go, "I'm amazing," and completely negate the fact that you had like masterful help.
That's all beside the point.
I mean, I'm just saying it's a valid point, though.
It's a point, but I mean, obviously, I had a natural inclination to pick this up.
Okay, yeah. All right.
But if y'all will, that's the Instagram account. So all you got to do is go to Instagram, type that in. It'll bring you right to the page. You'll see our beautiful faces as the profile picture. Go ahead and click that. Give it a follow. That way you can know what movies we're going to be talking about each week. But
very true. So let's get into it, man.
Let's do it.
So you got some stats for us on Catch Me If You Can. I think I'm going to go out on a limb because I believe this came out in 04, 05-ish, 02. Okay, so 02 was kind of before streaming services definitely before streaming services the way we know it now.
Yep.
I think Netflix may have existed then, but it wasn't a humongous thing like it is now.
Yeah, if it was still the getting movies through the mail.
Yeah, so this was a movie that was made for the last of the theater, right? The last run of good theater movies came out about the early 2000s. So I'm going to guess this one probably did pretty good because Leonardo DiCaprio was coming off of Titanic, and Tom Hanks was literally in the prime of his career in 02. So what was he? Was that pre or post Castaway? I think it was pre-Castaway.
Putting me on the spot. I can pull it up real quick. But, as you said, the movie did come out in 2002. Castaway came out in... Why doesn't it show it on the front fucking page? 2000.
Okay, so it was post-Castaway.
Post-Castaway. Yes. Yeah. And it was... Catch Me If You Can was directed by Steven Spielberg, which, if you don't know who he is, crawl out from under your rock, you low-life piece of shit.
Whoa!
It stars Leonardo DiCaprio,
Jesus,
Tom Hanks, Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
one of the original OGs of acting. Martin Sheen, and it actually has a young Amy Adams, which plays his love interest.
Yep.
So, budget. $52 million. You want to take a guess at the box office return?
I'm going to say about 140.
Ooh, I'm going to say you're a little low. Box
really?
Office return of $352.1 million. So you're talking about 6-1 return.
I would say that would be considered a smashing success.
I would say so.
So Wow. Did not see that one coming. 3.25. Jesus.
And one interesting thing, a little tidbit of backstory about the movie: the guy that it's based off of, Frank Abagnale, he actually sold the film rights to the autobiography in 1980. So this movie was in limbo for like 22 years before it was actually made, which is pretty crazy. It went through like 5 or 6 different directors, a bunch of different leading actors, but they finally
Okay.
it off with Spielberg and Leonardo DiCaprio.
So who could you see playing Frank Abagnale Jr.
Yeah.
20 years before this one came out?
Yeah, I don't know, because I think DiCaprio kind of nailed that role.
Absolutely.
Like he embodied that character. So I'm not sure. I was trying to find all of the different actors that they had set up to do it beforehand, but I'm having trouble finding it. But I know that originally it was supposed to be directed by Verbinski, Gore Verbinski, which did Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep.
And then before that, it was supposed to be.
You know what's crazy about that? You said Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was literally sitting here going, Johnny Depp is about the only other person I could see playing Frank Abagnale Jr. and pulling it off.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if he was drunk.
Yeah, well, a little Jack Sparrow, a little Edward Scissorhands would go a long way. Actually, you know what? I think the role he played in Blow was probably one of his best, like, normal person roles.
Yeah.
You know, he killed that movie, dude. That's still one of my favorite movies of all time. So, but yeah, so I would say smashing success. The crazy part about that movie is it's like 99.8% true.
Yeah, they took some creative liberties, obviously. Like, in real life, he never saw his father after he ran away.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a dramatic element they wanted to add in, him wanting to, appease his father. The actual detective that Tom Hanks plays had a different name. They changed the name. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's little changes throughout it.
Yeah. But like, you can understand why they changed an FBI agent's name.
Right.
Adding his dad in there kind of gives it the element of, like you said, he's trying to appease his dad, trying to, get on his pops' good side.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, and it's an interesting kind of thing where when you're doing like a movie based on true events, obviously you can surround true events around the movie, but you still have to make a movie.
Yeah.
You've got to add dramatic elements to it. You have to take creative liberties to get whatever you want to get across in your movie, right? Otherwise, it's essentially just a documentary like National Treasure or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something along that lines. Or National Treasure 2, which was a follow-up documentary.
Yes.
Those guys were geniuses.
But absolutely.
But I do want to say this. To me, this movie has two of the best things in their category in the same movie, right? Okay. One of the best toasts on screen and one of the best knock-knock jokes of all time.
Oh, hands down.
So, you kind of expect goofy shit out of Christopher Walken, but who gets a Lifetime Achievement Award from their local Rotary Club, especially like in the 60s? Who gets that award and goes up there and goes, 2 mice fall into a bucket of cream? Like, who does that? Who starts an acceptance speech with that?
Yep.
Right? Not only starts it, but ends it with that. Yep. Today, I am that second mouse. And if you haven't seen this movie, like, spoiler alerts, I don't really give a shit. But
this movie's 18 years old if you haven't seen it. And it is on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it and you want to go watch it after you hear us talk about it, it's on Netflix.
No, it's on It's not on Netflix. Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix too.
Oh, okay. Because I watched it on Tubi.
Yeah, it's on both actually.
But yeah. So, Steven, you want to hear me tell a joke?
Absolutely.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Go fuck yourself.
Best knock knock joke out of any movie.
And look, if we were making a movie about the vape scene between 2014 and 2020, I think I could use Tom Hanks as Derek because of that accent.
Oh, 100%.
That Boston accent he had was infallible.
It's remarkable. Truly remarkable.
Yeah.
But, so, I guess quick synopsis of the movie. Really quick, brief. Leonardo DiCaprio plays Frank Abagnale Jr., and he ends up becoming one of the greatest con men in American history.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks plays the detective that is tasked with catching him, which he does catch him, and Frank Abagnale ends up working for the FBI to catch other con men.
Yep.
So that's kind of the gist of the movie.
And he also, in the final scene, where they're sitting at the desk talking to one another, and he's telling him, this guy's good, blah, blah, blah. It shows an end screen of text. And Frank Abagnale is actually instrumental in some of the security measures in checks that you would see instituted now. Like if you still get a paper check from your employer, most of the time they have a little heat sensitive key on them, right? And you rub that key, and if it disappears, check's legit. If not, chances are it's fake. He's the one that invented that.
Yeah.
Using the heat sensitive ink on the paper. He's the one that invented that for the big banking corporation. So to say that this guy was a genius is kind of an understatement, and he left school at about 10th grade by my best estimate.
Yep. So the thing that really interested me about this movie is it's hard to classify it. Like, what is it?
It's a drama.
Yeah, but it's also a comedy. It's also a bit of a biographical movie. It's also kind of a crime movie, right?
Yeah, white collar crime.
It kind of goes, it teeters a lot of lines. I watched a video on it today, actually. A guy was doing analysis on it, and that was something he pointed out, and it was something that I had noticed, but he really expanded on it a lot further. But it was just like that. The movie really teeters a lot of different genres. So that was something that really, it kind of keeps you invested in the movie.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't think there's enough comedy in there to classify it as a comedy. I don't think there's enough action in there to label it as an action movie. I don't think there's enough, romance in there to consider it a romance. But I think there's enough drama in there for it to be compiled into the drama category.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, obviously, if you're gonna make like a smorgasbord of different genres into one movie, clearly you're gonna favor one
more than the other,
right? Yeah. So I mean, but I think it does a pretty good job of incorporating a lot of different elements, a lot of different genres, all into the one movie.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's the suspense. There's when he's sitting in the window sill, and he's got this gigantic Louis Vuitton bag full of cash, and he's about to go out the window to his soon-to-be new bride. Like, that's a suspenseful scene, man. That shit'll have you biting your nails.
Or when he's asking the doctor if he concurs.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hilarious moment, right? Like,
and then he walks away, and the guy goes, I should have concurred.
Yeah, that's a great moment.
I look like an idiot. Yeah. And then he goes into the janitor's closet and throws his fucking guts up. So, yeah, for me, like I said, I don't think I could classify it as anything other than a drama, maybe a biography. but a biography and a drama is kind of. I feel like a biography to be a true biography, it needs to be something that's narrated. Um, which this one had a little bit of narration in it, but it wasn't much. Um,
But it's also a bit of like a procedural crime.
yeah, it's definitely a white collar crime movie.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just it's got a lot of different stuff going on for it,
Yeah,
and it doesn't feel outdated. Like it obviously it kind of does somewhat, but if you look at it as a movie that's set in a certain time period because it's already set in the 60s, it doesn't feel outdated. Like you can still watch it today and it holds up.
yeah, absolutely. Well, it's like you take something like Full Metal Jacket out of take the Vietnam kind of time frame out of it, put it into the Iraq Freedom War, right? The modern day war. You switch up a couple of things, and it's like the story could be told from several different generations. You could take it back to World War II. You could take it forward to Desert Storm, even. You know.
Yep.
So I think this one, if you ran it, obviously you couldn't run it back too much further from where it's set, but running it forward, it could still be. I think this one, if they rebooted it now, it would be ill-timed, or if they had waited and put this out in like more towards now, it would have passed its time. But like back then, people still carried checkbooks in 2000, in 01. People still got paper checks. Although, like direct deposit was a thing, it wasn't as widely used as it is now. So I don't know. I think it's. I don't think you could run it now because of the restrictions at TSA. Like, there's no way you could get away with doing what he did now.
No.
But that's also the beauty of it, is like, this is at the inception of the written check. This is at the inception of commercial flight being available to everybody and not just a certain subset of people. So the ID technology wasn't there. There was no, hell, they're fucking smoking cigarettes in the goddamn airplane.
Yeah.
So that tells you something right there about when it was set.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing about the movie that I really enjoyed is that it's one of those movies, it's 2 hours and 21 minutes long. It does not feel like it's 2 hours and 21 minutes long.
It doesn't. It really, really doesn't.
It feels like an hour and 45-minute long movie.
Yep. That's what I was going to say. If you had told me it was an hour and 45-minute runtime, I would have been like, yeah, seems about right. But hearing that it's almost 2.5, it carries it very well.
And after talking about the Irishman, like, it's kind of the polar opposite of that as far as pacing goes. Like, it's paced perfectly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no dull moments. Like, there's no fat, which, regardless of if you agreed or not about the Irishman, it's like, this is a movie that has no fat. It's 2 hours and 21 minutes, but everything needs to happen the way it happens, and it never slugs.
Yeah, it's a lean, mean fucking machine.
Yep. So, with it being a Steven Spielberg movie, where does this movie fall in his filmography?
Well, I'm gonna do something. Yeah. Boom. I'm gonna pull up his collection of work.
It's pretty.
I can tell you right now, it's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah.
So let's see. Show me his filmography. Jesus, 179 credits. All right. Let's do as a producer. Right?
I did as a director.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go to director. All right, so Indiana Jones, West Side Story, Lincoln, Warhorse,
E.T., Schindler's List,
yeah,
Jaws,
Jurassic Park, Hook,
Saving Private Ryan.
all the Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Twilight Zone movie.
Minority Report, underrated classic.
Oh, dude, I literally told Brittany, I said, "You want to watch Minority Report? You ever seen it?" And she was like, "Yeah," and I was really close to clicking on it anyways.
I watched it like 2 weeks ago. It's so good.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna put this one for me personally. Well, let's see. I think his best movie he ever did was Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
I think Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park, was right there behind it.
Yep.
Then again, I'm a Jurassic Park fiend. Then I'm gonna say Jaws directly behind that. I wasn't a huge fan of Schindler's List, so I'm gonna go. There's what 1, 2, 3, 4. Indiana Jones. So I'm gonna put it at numbers. I'm gonna put it a solid 6
Okay.
because I think it was much better than at least one of the Indiana Jones. I think it was better than Temple of Doom.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna put it just outside top 5.
I'm gonna put it somewhere in the top 10, probably
Mhm.
lower on the top 10, and that's not really saying that this movie isn't good. It's just that's how good of a director he is. You know, like E.T., that was a childhood movie for me. Jaws, Jurassic Park, Saving Private Ryan, all the Indiana Jones. You know, besides Crystal Skull or whatever the fuck it is.
See, I actually liked Crystal Skull. I don't think it's. I don't think it's top 10
Yeah,
in
no,
his.
I'd put it like way
I'd put it about 13 or 14.
Minority Report for me. I think Minority Report's probably a better movie than this.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing about saying it's a better movie than this. They're set in 2 different times and they're 2 completely different movies.
Yeah, just for me personally, I enjoy Minority Report
Yeah.
more. I love the futuristic
Yeah.
elements that
Well,
provides.
it's also got an action, like a Mission Impossible type feel to it. Yeah. I mean, I can see it.
So like if we're talking, you know, where do I rank it? I'd put it probably on the lower of the top 10. But again, that's not saying that this is a bad movie. If you're in the top 10 on the Spielberg list, that's a pretty
Oh, hell yeah.
that's a pretty good accomplishment.
That's a pretty prestigious place to be at any point in your career. Yeah, but I honestly, like, me and my son sat down and watched Saving Private Ryan about a month or so ago, and I cannot tell you how good of a fucking movie that was.
It's so good.
Like, that was, I would venture to say, that is probably one of the best war movies ever made,
Yeah, if not the best.
if not the best.
Yeah.
You know, because I can't think of anything that, you know, is there other movies that are more that show a little bit more graphic violence than Saving Private Ryan? Probably, as far as like a gore factor, probably, but is it realistic? Probably not.
That's the thing that does it. It's the realism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I think, shit. What was the fucking Vietnam movie? God damn it.
The older one,
Yeah, there's an older Vietnam movie
Apocalypse
that was no, it wasn't Apocalypse Now, and it wasn't Full Metal Jacket. It was oh, son of a bitch. what was the name of it? But even like movies like First Blood from Rambo, right? Rambo's a great war type movie, and it's a very graphic movie. But is it better than Saving Private Ryan? Not a chance in fucking hell.
No.
Not even close.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, there's a certain point where just because it's more gory or it's more bloody or whatever, it loses a sense of realism.
Yeah.
Right, especially in a war movie. I mean, if you're talking a horror or a slasher or whatever, obviously that's what you're paying for. But in a war movie, the realism is kind of what sets them apart.
Yeah.
You know, it has to, it's like Bob said, it's the first movie that showed the real war experience.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it captures that like you're there.
Yeah.
Or you're
absolutely
seeing something that actually happened. So
yeah.
Hill something.
I don't know.
I don't remember that one.
Let me see what it was. Hamburger Hill. No, I don't think it was Hamburger Hill.
Oh, so you're looking up the Vietnam movie?
Yeah. Let me figure out what.
Well,
Vietnam War movies. So let's go into. You want to go ahead and go into rankings?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I just had to yawn because I'm exhausted. So for me, if I was gonna rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 5, which I'm gonna do because we have a new scoring system that we explained.
Because that's kind of what we do.
I'm probably gonna give this movie probably a 4.
Okay.
I'd give it a 4. It's a good movie. I mean, it's like I don't think anybody would watch it and regret watching it.
No.
You know, like it's just a good movie. There's nothing spectacular about it. There's nothing that like there's no point where I'm like, holy shit, this is an amazing film. It's a good movie. It's made really well. There's really good acting in it. It's got great pacing. It's funny. It's dramatic. It covers a lot of area. So yeah, I'd give it a 4.
I'm gonna go a half a step further, and I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Okay.
Just because I think this is one of those movies that, like, even though it is 18 years old right now, I think in another 18 years it'll still be a really good movie.
Yeah.
And that to me is kind of a sign of what makes a good movie a great movie. You know, no matter how many times you can watch it, I can watch it 3 more times in the next 10 years and it won't get old.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it definitely has the replayability to it.
So I'm gonna give it I guess that's totaled up 8.5. I think it deserves its spot in that great movie category.
Which I would be curious. We give it an 8.5. Let's just see what.
Yeah, let's do the Rotten Tomatoes.
I was gonna do
IMDb.
Yeah, because they do on a scale of 1 to 10. So we'll see how close we are. IMDb, they gave it an 8.1.
There you go.
So 8.5. So IMDb is wrong. Is
essentially
what we're saying.
Yeah, and we are the authority on movies.
Clearly.
Yeah. Duh.
But yeah, so at 8.5, don't really have to do would you buy it or rent it or anything because
you can stream it literally for free on Tubi. So
or if you have a Netflix account, you can go to Netflix and stream it there.
Watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
So now here's another category we can come up with. Is this a Netflix and chill movie?
Dude.
You bring a girl over and you turn on Catch Me If You Can. Are you fucking or are you watching the movie?
Man.
It's tough, right?
Because, like, well, I guess, like, I've seen it. So, like, I don't know. I don't know. If we're talking, would you fuck? Okay, this is a weird discussion, but if the movie's really good, I may want to watch the movie
Exactly.
and then fuck after, right?
That's
If
where the conundrum
if
comes in.
that's on the table. If those cards
Yeah.
are on the table. If those cards aren't on the table, I mean, if it's a bad movie, then obviously it's like I'm hoping she gets bored.
Yeah.
Right.
Like to me, a Netflix and chill movie is like what Brittany's watching right now, Sharknado V2.
Oh yeah.
Like Sharknado 2 is a Netflix and chill movie because you're fucking.
Exactly. Just out of sheer boredom.
Yeah, like you bring a chick over and she's like, "You want to watch Sharknado?" That's just as good as saying, "You want to lick my butthole?" It's exactly the same thing.
But at the same time, if a chick comes over and says "Hey, can we watch Titanic?" That could go either way. 'Cause Titanic's a great movie, but sometimes
Yeah, but okay, so hear me out. Here's the beauty of Titanic, right? You can start Titanic, get 15 minutes into the movie, start fucking, get done fucking, clean up, and sit back down, and you still got 2.5 hours of movie.
Yeah, and then you get to see what's her face.
Kate Winslet.
Yep, getting drawn up.
Her unimpressive titties and gigantic.
Dude, when I was 11,
her gigantic ginger bush.
When I was 11, it was very impressive. Or 8,
Yeah.
or however fucking old I was. It was very impressive.
Leo said you can put static on the screen, and I'm fucking. Well, that's true.
Absolutely.
Well, with a face like Leo's, you can't help but fuck that.
Exactly. But that's an interesting, little side note that you decided to do there.
It's a little wrinkle we're gonna add in to the rating systems.
Would you fuck during this movie?
Yeah, is it a Netflix and chill movie?
Yeah.
Like Saving Private Ryan? No, it's not. It's definitely not a Netflix and chill movie.
I would say this could be a Netflix and chill movie.
It could be, depending on how quick you are.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, for me, anything can be a Netflix and chill movie.
That's
You're
true.
Going just off of quickness.
Yeah.
Right.
Speed.
Yeah, exactly. Speed's a great Netflix and chill
Yeah,
movie.
exactly. Jesus.
Or,
okay. I think
that
we're
classic Daniel Day-Lewis, There Will Be Blood. That's a great Netflix and chill.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna continue scrubbing this shit out. I know you gotta get to work.
Yeah, I gotta get to work pretty soon. So
Yeah.
that'll do it for the movie. And like you said, we'll be announcing the other movies that we'll be talking about next week for the special little deal we're doing. We'll announce that on the Instagram tomorrow, I'm assuming.
Yeah, what's movie number 2?
Oh fuck, were we? I forgot about that. Why don't you go ahead first?
All right. Well, since we Jesus, sorry about that. Since we brought up Spielberg, let's go over to IMDb since I've got it pulled up right now, and let's pick something. Let's pick. I want to give you something like crazy to watch.
Okay.
Something that may not ever be on your radar. And I think I may have found it.
Okay.
I did. This is a classic tale. Not really a tale. That is called, let's see, where's the goddamn, Jesus Christ. Can I just find the fucking credits to this fucking thing? Dude, this is really fucking upsetting me right now.
I found my second movie.
Okay, go ahead.
My second movie for you will be, and it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer?
And if any of y'all in chat have not watched this movie, it's on Netflix. Watch it. That's all I'm going to say. Watch it.
Okay.
That is not
So-
a Netflix and chill movie. That is a Netflix and fucking watch the movie because it's great.
Okay, so I have one for you as well,
Okay.
and I know you. This is going to be an off the wall one, right? I want you to go watch Velocipaster.
That's a real movie.
Velocipaster.
Velocipaster. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's got something to do with it.
No, yeah, I figured. Well, it's on Amazon Prime, so I can watch it.
Yep. Is it free on Amazon Prime?
Yep.
Oh, well, there you go. So everybody in chat, go out and watch Velocipaster 31.
Once
Yours
Upon a
was-
Time in Hollywood.
And
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer.
We'll announce the other two movies on the Instagram tomorrow after we
Tomorrow.
decide them. But yeah, so out of those, Velocipaster, which I never thought that I would say that word in my life. Snowpiercer, those two are available. One's on Amazon Prime, the other's on Netflix. So y'all have something to watch if you know.
Yep, I'm fixing to pull up. I'm going to pull up Snowpiercer right now and add this to my watch list.
Dude, you're gonna really. I mean, I think you will. But that should be it. I believe we just had a successful stream that I streamed.
That you strum?
That I strummed.
Yeah, you strummed. All right, well, there you go. Go check out those movies: Snowpiercer, Velocipaster, 31, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Jesus Christ!
Once a time.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time. Anyways, so yeah, we're getting the fuck out of here.
All right, guys.
Do you know how to end the stream?
We're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna go back to scene 1 on XSplit, and then I'm gonna hit stop streaming. Here we go.
That'll do it. That'll do it.